Absolutely not.
It's called Binge.
It's called Binge.
Doesn't sound like it.
I said, but to be honest, you know, the truth of the matter that might have come with explaining this EP, outside of the fact that there's angst, attitude, you know, sex, drugs, and 808s, like other than the obvious, the breakdowns I'd like to give, I'm not gonna give out of respect for Mac.
And I was gonna say that when Mac passed, and
yeah, I mean, I gotta tell my truth.
Do you take it serious now, like, you know, because you never know.
Oh, my drug use?
Yeah.
Hey y'all, what's up? So I know you guys saw the clip. For those of you who may or may not have seen the interview with the Breakfast Club from this morning with Machine Gun Kelly, y'all can go check that shit out. The reason why I play that clip is just because how he mentions how, you know, the binging and the rampant drug use and the sex, drugs, and rock and roll is very prevalent in the Binge EP, which it is. I have my own thoughts about the EP. However, before I go into my breakdown and just like my thoughts on it, I am gonna go ahead and just give it a fair, you know, reaction. I tend to fucking get my videos blocked all the time whenever I try to do reactions, so I know the safe boat is like doing 20 seconds or whatever, because I don't want this video to get like reported, whatever the fuck, especially because this shit just came out and I'm not trying to bootleg his shit. I'm just trying to give an honest reaction and really go through track by track. Also too, I am a longtime MGK fan. Now I'm not from Cleveland, you know, I was not there during those underground days. However, you know, Lace Up came out, one of my favorite tracks is like Save Me. I still fucking listen to Hold On, Shut Up, shit like that. I have my favorite tracks by him, and I'm gonna go ahead and get into all of that after this reaction is done, because I just have thoughts about this EP in particular, and I don't know, I just want to get into that. Also too, I also know about the whole Eminem MGK beef bullshit. I like both. I say that in all my videos. I'm not really trying to say, oh, MGK is trash, Eminem is trash, but no, that's not my attitude. To me, they're in different lanes, but they both go hard. I mean, of course, Eminem has already shown and proven his status, right? So we already know what Eminem's doing. MGK's still trying to show and prove what he's worked so hard for, and he's saying, I got a voice, y'all are gonna hear my voice. But just to go ahead and just from further ado, let's just go ahead and get into this reaction. So the name of the first track on the Binge EP is Long Time Coming. It's just an intro. It's just like Long Time Coming. Nothing is really said here, and I'll go ahead and I'll just play that for like 20 seconds. Okay, so Long Time Coming, you know, he's like, it's been a long time coming now, it's here, ain't no running from it. I kind of take this to perceive like he's been grinding, he's been going hard to really make a name for himself, to really go ahead and stick himself out in the industry, and to just kind of show the world who Machine Gun Kelly, and not only Machine Gun Kelly, but Colson Baker is, because he talks about that a lot, especially on his acting side. You know, he's got movies and shit coming out. So he's like, you know, I really want to be, you know, known entirely for like who I am, which that's dope. That's cool, you know, nothing really much to say about Binge. And so then the next track is a track that I like. I even mentioned in my my MGK rant how he like played Loco early during this set, and I just didn't understand that. I feel like Loco should be something that he closes with, just because the song is like that lit, that turn. He and Pete Davidson are like in the music video and shit. It's like, it's really lit. Like I liked it a lot. Logo on my channel, because I played it like you know, sometimes in my intros, or maybe if I put in you know, fucking screenshots and stuff like that. You know, I played it on my channel before, so y'all have probably heard it. And so the next track is GTS. GTS on the EP stands for Going Through Shit, right? So this is how this track sounds. I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Before I really get into my thoughts and break down this song, so I'm gonna really try and save it for later. I'm just giving brief synopsis, doing a brief synopsis like right now. Going through shit is deep. I feel like it's him on beast mode. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just the ultimate, you know, not giving no fucks. But then again, it's like, you know, I think about this and then I reference the interview and I just, everything kind of just makes sense. But I'm not sure if it's making sense in a fucking good way, which is why I'm going to just save that shit. I'm just going to keep playing the damn EP. Y'all can probably sense a rant coming. My subscribers, y'all know I am pressed. But I'm going to keep it pushing because, you know. And I thought it was cool how he put Rap Devil on here. We all have heard Rap Devil. We've all probably seen the music video. I thought that was dope. You know, in the interview, he mentions and he talks about how, oh, you know, I do have like a response to Kill Shot, you know, but I'm just keeping that in my holster. I definitely feel like instead of keeping it in the holster, it probably should have legit been on the EP. But we can play a little bit of Rap Devil.
Hello, Marshall. My name's Colson. You should go back to recovery. I know your ego is hurting just knowing that all of your fans discovered me. You're like, damn, he a younger me. Except he dresses better and I'm ugly. Always making fun of me. Stop all the thuggery, Marshall. You living in luxury.
So, you know, when Rap Devil came out, I was geeked, you know, just as an MGK fan because, you know, honestly, say what you want to say about it. It does take balls to come out with a track like that. It does take guts to fucking even say anything, to even respond, to even begin to try to respond to Eminem. Like, it, you know, and it takes hard work too as well. The fact that he's like, oh, I made this shit in 4 hours, which it makes sense because later on, well, actually in the very next track after Rap Devil, you see that riding shoddy cause I gotta roll this dope, it's a fast road, that was actually sampled from a song that was already made. So, you know, of course, you know, putting the auto-tune in there, I guess, to just piss Eminem off, which is weird because I'm not sure if I'm tripping, but I feel like MGK on his previous albums, he hasn't used auto-tune like that, or maybe it'll be, it's not like every fucking song, you know what I'm saying? Whereas with Binge, it's like every fucking song. Not hating on auto-tune, you know, we all know and love T-Pain, you know, especially like if you're in my generation, like in your 20s. You know, I'm not hating on that. It's just, I'm gonna just keep on playing because this is gonna go into like a long rant. But trust me, it's fucking worth it. It's called Nylon, and it's the song after Rap Devil.
I'm from Cleveland, we the coldest, so it's no coincidence that when you try to take a pic, it's too much ice for you to focus.
I think it's funny how in Nylon he literally has this line where he's like, oh, you know, I'm from Cleveland, which that's cool, you know what I'm saying? He's always repping Cleveland. You cannot hate on this man for repping where he's from. Like, that is one thing that he is consistent about. Can't hate on that, you know what I'm saying? I rep Chicago all the fucking time, so I feel that. However, I just find it interesting how he's like, oh, when you take a picture, it's too much ice, because he's mentioned before, he's like, you know, those aren't my motives, that's not my goal. And even when you see him now, he's not like fucking iced the fuck out. Like, he's not like fucking Lil Pump or like any of those rappers with like multiple blingy ass chains. Like, Machine Gun's not like that, you know what I'm saying? His style is, as far as his overall persona and just like his overall style, the ice, I don't know, he was probably just saying that. I don't know, I'm gonna go ahead and just go to the next track. Okay, so the next track is Lately, and I would say that besides Rap Devil and Loco, Lately, in my opinion, for me as a listener and as a fan, is like the only track that I really fuck with hard, like on this EP. I'm gonna go ahead and play it. It's like, it's weird because it's like I fuck with it hard, but also there's a message in Lately, and I want to talk about it, so I'll just play the clip.
share. The fuck you think I go so hard for? I got out of there. Have you ever had somebody try to take your life? Sometimes I ain't safe for myself when I stay up at night. Lately I done.
That bar right there, right? Okay, so he's like, have you ever had somebody try to take your life? And sometimes I'm not safe by myself when I'm up at night. So I feel like that's a play on bars. I feel like that's a double meaning, right? So yeah, we all know he's from the street life, you know, shit like that. And you know, niggas try to run up on you, niggas try to murk you all the time, right? I feel like also though, when you deal with depression too as well, and you actively use drugs and you frequently indulge in drugs, you may experience overdoses and things like that. You kind of become your own worst enemy, especially when you get to the point where you don't care about living anymore. And I'm not gonna say that he fully disclosed that in the interview, but it definitely got deep in the Breakfast Club interview earlier as far as his drug use and his regard for life and things like that. And that's kind of where I'm going with this video. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm on Lately. It's only 3 more tracks after this, and we can just really talk and have a good breakdown. Okay, y'all. So the next track is called Signs, and it's featuring an artist named 24 Hours. I've never heard of 24 Hours. I'm gonna have to look into him some more. I think it might be somebody from his camp, you know, because he's always like about that. He's always like putting his homies on and shit, which that's cool. Like he's always been about that. Like that's one thing about MGK that's always been real. So I'm gonna go ahead and just play, you know, this track a bit.
Give me good weed or some raw, yeah. Scrape up my knees on the raw, yeah. I ain't gonna show you no love, no. You say my name, you a dud, no. Big turn for the life.
Yeah, okay, you know, once again, just talking about, you know, Rock God Born in the Mosh Pit. Of course, we all know that MGK has that rock element to him. He has like rock influence in his music. But he's just talking about the lifestyle, really, just turning up fucking random groupie bitches and shit like that. So yeah. And this is called Get the Broom.
Not my fingers, no, this ain't sign language. That's that gay shit. I'm always back on that up the way shit. Earn my stripes, you know I spill my blood all on the pavement. Knock that man out, had to make $1 million payment.
I do like Get the Broom, right? And there was a couple lines in there, like I just played the, you know, spill my blood all over the pavement. Speaking of blood all on the pavement, so I'm starting to like kind of wonder, y'all saw like the local music video, right? I'm just talking to people who've seen it. Like y'all ain't gonna be fans of MGK, but if you've seen the local music video, y'all seen when he headbutted dude ass and he fucking was bleeding all in his face and shit. And then I noticed on his Instagram, it really legit did look like he busted his face or some shit. So I'm sitting here wondering, like, did my nigga really just bust his face for a music video? Because that is dedication on a different level. It's crazy because it's like, I like that. I don't know. I like MGK for many different reasons. But sometimes I feel like the reasons why I like him are also the reasons why I'm like, we're gonna get into that. Get the Broom is cool. Turn Up, you know what I'm saying? I'll probably like add it to my turn up list as I listen to it more. I was honestly looking for more lyricism in this EP, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just play the last track, which is called Live Fast, Die Young. Okay, so now that I've gone ahead and I played clips of the EP, you know, it's streaming everywhere. It's like on Spotify, it's like on iTunes and all that other good shit. Y'all can go ahead and do whatever you want to do. I use Spotify. I love Spotify. That's just how I get my music. But if you haven't heard it yet, you can definitely go ahead and access it. It's like everywhere. It's like on all platforms. So now here we go, and it's time for my opinions. So the reason why I put not what I was expecting in the thumbnail is because just like as an MGK fan, like, and because I'm an MGK fan, I'm not like a fucking like crazy ass fangirl. Like I know I fangirl on here sometimes, but I'm not fangirl to the point where I'm dumb and blind, right? And I'm not gonna kiss his ass just because I'm a fan, right? I am mildly disappointed in the Binge EP. Not because it's a turn up EP, okay? Like, if you can take it for what it is, if you just take the fucking Binge EP for what it is. Turn up music, about binging, go out, have a good time, get fucked up, get all the bitches, all the hoes, of course, right? If you take it for what it is, cool. I feel like after Kill Shot, my nigga, the Binge EP could have waited. We could have did this around Christmas time. This is not, in my opinion, what needs to be out right now after Kill Shot. No. I don't know. It's just, after watching his interviews, and what's crazy is, I understand that his interviews, especially the, Breakfast Club interview, it has a lot of dislikes. It's like the fucking like to dislike ratio is crazy, It's crazy. And it's there for a reason, because of the way he comes off. But if you're not a hardcore fan of MGK and you haven't been watching him or known about him for years, then you probably wouldn't understand. However, I understand the way he came off, but it's like, I also understand his frustration as an artist. He's been very suppressed. He's been looked down upon. He's been very, very underrated as far as, his music and his talent. And I even mentioned that in my MGK rant. My first MGK is so weird because I feel like this is a fucking actual MGK rant. This is more of a real fucking rant than my original rant, because my other rant was just like, I just think that the way he came on the scene was, I don't know, kind of off-branding, because he came onto the scene as like this wild boy. He kind of just has that image, even though he has these multiple sides to him. Like, I mean, he's covered Everlong. I mean, he has a lot of talent as far as, playing guitar and shit, and really breaking it down and just like getting acoustic with that shit. And not to mention like his acting, like he has so many different elements to him, and I just feel like the Binge EP, we did not need this right now. I'm not saying that he should have never released it. I'm saying that right now in this moment, with the Kill Shot going on, Kamikaze happening, Rap Devil charting and everything, in my opinion, this was his time to go hard. The way this was promoted, I'm thinking he was gunning for everybody who's ever shot on him in the industry. In all honesty, his Funk Flex freestyle went harder than the Binge EP, in my opinion. I'm not sure if he did this as a way to let's just deter away from my beef. Let's just deter away from the issues I have with Eminem and things like that. And let's just turn up and, not care and give a fuck. Like maybe that was the point. Maybe the point was also, I'm a hint at my story, because I'm gonna fucking probably drop some shit to where I really get deep about my life and deep about my story soon. I'm not really sure. It's crazy because like I'm honestly like shocked at my own disappointment. So that's why I'm coming off like this, and the fact that it's like 1 o'clock in the morning right now and I'm still making this video. And he dropped it at 11 o'clock my time because I think he might be down there by like Ohio or like Missouri or some shit, because he's like on tour, and they're like an hour ahead from Chicago. So I'm not sure what he plans on doing, but I just feel like this Binge could have waited. I mean, I honestly could have been without Binge until sometime next year, like, to be honest. I feel like right now he needs to be showing nothing but potential. Like when he dropped Rap Devil, like when he dropped Rap Devil, like he showed his potential. He showed that he was able to formulate a diss track. He says it only took him 4 hours to make, including the music video, all of this while on tour. That's your potential. Unfortunately, that's how hard you need to be working, like, all the time in order to go ahead and have a good fucking response, or at least to kind of really show and demonstrate your artistry in response to all of this fucking bullshit with Kill Shot and people shitting on you and people like literally making a joke out of you. Like, low-key, it's hard to be an actual MGK fan right now because everybody's vicious, and it's so crazy how the internet is, because it's like, when Rap Devil came out, everybody was like all over him. Everybody's like, oh, da-da-da. But there were people who were like, oh, congratulations, you just ended your own career. But now the hate train has really formed, and it's really crazy. And I just really ignore all that noise, which is why I still am making this video, because I don't really even care if y'all come for me. Because it don't faze me. Like, I'm gonna fucking post a video anyway. So yeah, as far as the Binge EP, I honestly, in my personal opinion, I only like 4 tracks, and it's 9 tracks well, if you exclude the intro, it's 8 tracks. So I like half, of it. Lately, I like Rap Devil, of course, Loco, and I like Get the Broom. I need to listen to it more and get more accustomed to it. But I feel like, I don't know. A part of his story, I think, needs to be told, and it's interesting to me how in the Breakfast Club interview he says, I didn't say a lot of things that I wanted to say and go really into detail about what I've been dealing with because of Mac. And I'm like, I understand if you don't want to influence your audience, right, negatively, right, with talking about your story because you're not trying to trigger people. However, also too, though, when you put out an EP and the message is, I've been going through so much, I've been going through shit, I haven't taken enough to not feel like what I'm going through, you're still pushing that same message. And I'm not sure if that gets across. I'm not really sure how that comes across to him. Unless this is just a distraction, it's really hard to really put my finger on it. And if he wasn't gonna gun for the whole industry, if this was gonna be a different piece, I would have much rather heard tracks on the level of, Lead You On, Merry Go Round. I mean, shit, The Gunner. Like, I would have much rather heard almost anything. And it's crazy because after I started listening to Lace Up, right, and when you start liking people and stuff on YouTube, he's got shit that goes years back, but this is something that he came out with a few years back called Lead You On. I think this shit came out back 2012 or something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and play you a quick clip.
Tell them drain the pool, I'm sinking fast. Come and save my life before it pass. Scratching at the surface, but the bottom's where I'm at. Only place my addiction will tell me that I'm free at last. So why the fuck you playing with my head? I said
we'll know about, his past experience with drugs and his battle with heroin. But what I don't think is confirmed yet, or as far as what I know, I'm not sure if he's ever... Well, he talked about how, he's not really interested in doing therapy or anything like that right now, but I'm not sure if he ever really truly addressed the heroin issue, if he ever actually stopped. Those of you who may or may not know, there's so much information, and I'm not trying to shit on people if you have addiction issues. It's just because, I relate on a different level, but heroin kills, right? And I'm not sure if he's ever truly addressed any of his drug issues, and I feel like it's weird in these interviews because he talks about that and he talks about his experience with drugs and things like that, but he tends to not go into too much detail, but it almost always comes out in his music some way, some shape, some form. And I'm not sure if he ever tried addressing them, stopping or maybe trying to do some type of rehabilitation program, maybe a cleanse. I don't know, a prayer, something. You know what I'm saying? It's just concerning because it's we talk about Mac Miller, we talk about Avicii, we talk about so many other artists, and I know Avicii was a suicide, but Mac Miller was an accidental overdose, so who knows what the intentions were behind that. We all know that he struggled with his own battles of depression and things like that, and I just feel with so many artists, Demi fucking overdosed. With so many artists struggling, and this is what I was talking about in my age group video when I was talking about Mac Miller and stuff like that, I understand that we all have our depression and anxiety and shit issues, but it's when you're just looking to drugs to cope. And at the end of this video, I'm going to play a clip to where he literally said, sometimes human comfort isn't enough, and the world cannot break someone down so many times and not expect them to not want an escape from all of that. And I understand that, but to just drown yourself in drugs, the man's a father. He's not only a father, and he's a growing artist, he's a growing act. It's I really would hate to fucking have to deal with another tragedy in regards to an artist, and I'm just concerned. And it's weird because the Binge EP makes me fucking concerned. Like, it's a weird feeling. It's like, I was geeked this morning. Like, I was geeked. Like, you know what I'm saying? And plus I had the day off, whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready. You know, I can react to this EP. He's got the heat. He's got the fire. He's gonna bring all of the bars. He brought some bars, but he's not really gunning on this. And I don't know if he knows. I don't know if this is intentional. I don't really know what the point of this release was. And I know it's not a full album, and I know he probably takes, you know, more time in regards to, you know, putting together actual albums and things like that, but I'm just really not sure what to think. I do feel like, though, for me as an MGK fan, yes, the Binge EP, in my opinion, is just not what needed to be released right now, but I'm not going to stop listening to him. I'm not gonna, like, unsubscribe and, like bash his shit just because I've seen the potential and I've heard it, and it's just like it just didn't come through on this EP, in my opinion. That could come through later. He hasn't released his response to Kill Shot. He says it's in his holster, so we'll see. You know what I'm saying? My concern as a fan, I think, is just like, as all of us, you know, in this generation of artists and everything, I honestly just, I'll keep him in good regards, you know, like I'll, you know, send positivity and pray and everything, and like I'll still go to see MGK live and everything like that. Like I don't really have anything against him just because, you know, I wasn't really feeling the EP, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like that kind of a fan, you feel me? I do hope that with the drug use and with the partying and shit, I just hope it gets better. I don't want to hear about him on the news. I don't want to read that shit. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about that. I don't want to witness it, especially being that he's my fucking age. And I'm just really tired of people in my generation specifically. Like, it's just been a really bad, really, really bad. It's like, you know, I understand that these people aren't like role models and things like that, but it's kind of hard when, like me, like I work, you know, I've worked in the music industry. I'm building my own name out here. I'm building my own business out here. It's crazy because I feel like my generation, we're all a bunch of entrepreneurs. We're all a bunch of grinders. Like, we're all a bunch of fucking go-getters, but we struggle with our anxiety and depression. You know, it's so many people out here doing the same thing, and it's crazy because it's almost like our culprit is like the same thing too. Like, you know, the fucking kryptonite. And it's like, it all depends on how you deal with it. I mean, y'all know that I'm in fucking therapy for my shit. You know, I don't plan on leaving therapy soon. I did used to fucking party and do hardcore drugs in my past. Like, I have. However, there comes a time and place where you kind of either learn a balance or you start to fucking change your values. I'm just gonna pray that I never have to see MGK on the news. Like, honestly, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Because I can't dictate and delegate how someone else should live their life. I can only just give my thoughts and opinions. But I'm just saying, like, it's just weird. It's kind of an eerie thing. Like, I don't know. Binge just gave me a weird vibe. Like, it's like okay, I'm trying to vibe with it, but I'm also kind of worried and concerned. And then after the interview today, it's like, should we all just be concerned? Like, I don't know. Not giving up on him as an artist, though. We'll see what's to come. I mean, there's always, you know, shit that we don't know about. You know what I'm saying? So who knows what else will be released.
I ain't gonna stop getting high. I ain't gonna try, even though I almost died. But I get it and I'm alive. I ain't gonna stop getting high. I ain't gonna stop getting high. I never even gonna try. I ain't even gonna front. Hurry up and pass the blunt. Done. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Comfort from humans isn't enough.
But you don't want to turn to drugs, especially when you see how
I'm not. Look,
I'm because of drug use.
And what about people around you? Nobody around you is like.
Absolutely, it's a huge issue, and I talk about that on the record. There's a song called "Lately." I talk about that. We got in a huge fight in the Chicago airport. Huge fight. And it was all over. Yes, huge.
And they should.
Ain't no, there's no yes man on my team. There's none of that.
They care about
huge fight. I'm talking about to the point where it's like we're physically brawling with each other over the temper that comes from using drugs. I know I know everything that comes. I almost was Mac.
Summer day, an entire family died on that summer day, 'cause a facade made a girl give her love away. But those were Bobby's consequences.